Mr. Keshe, can you hear us?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, we spoke about you as well for half an hour.
I came here totally for a different reason. The reason I came here is that most probably some of you have already seen it in the chats. The Universal Council new members and the old, or as called as a council, has been posted to this afternoon. There are 24 members, old and new, in the Universal Council, UCM, and there are 66 old and new Universal Council support members. The post has been done by the webmasters and the IT team, and some of you who have a Gmail account have not received it. You have to supply the Keshe Foundation with another account. Somehow Gmail has put a lot of bans in a lot of places. So if you have a Gmail account, you might not receive the membership notice. You have 3 days to transfer your old emails and contacts to the new email and Zoom number given. And after 3 days, it'll be closed. So the old members of Universal Council or the present Universal Council members, please check your emails. If you have a Gmail, you'll have a problem. You have to inform the IT or info@keshe.foundation with a new email, another email without a Gmail if you have one, that it can be activated back on your Zoom, the one which you usually use, that we can operate, or you can be members, joining the members. And at the same time, we need all the new members of the both councils, the Universal Council member and Universal Support, to provide us with the Telegram connection, that they can be added to the Telegram groups, both on UCM and UCS. So in the couple of days, if the members of the council can organize these things on their mobile phone or on their laptops or your computers or whatever, and respond back that you have received it. And if you have not received it, you got a Gmail, respond back to the info@keshe.foundation with a new email. We're trying to resolve this with Gmail, but apparently Gmail has put a block on a lot of things everywhere. So 2 points is cleared. I welcome and the new members of the Universal Council appointed, and welcome the new Universal Council support who have requested to be there to support the council. We wish you all the best, and especially with the new technologies which are getting released and added, you need a lot of support. And I hope we can serve better in the coming months and years to expand. We expect 3 to 5 more new members to be added to the Universal Council members in the next few days. Those of you who are members of the Universal Council support of a language, but you do not have a Universal Council member, meet together if you feel you want to do that, and you can volunteer or request to become the Universal Council member. We have this in 2 or 3 languages where there are more than one supporter for the language, but there is no Universal Council member. If you feel any of you want to be a Universal Council member, you can request for it. We expect the Universal Council to raise about 30 in the next few weeks, we hope.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. We also talk about all the good news of last week about the electricity enhancement system, and we show all your recording of last week, and also about the Wellbeing Center. I don't know if you want to say anything about that as well.
No, there is nothing involved with history. We announced in the teachings, and we're negotiating and everything else. And there's a lot of things happening with the whole structure of the Keshe Foundation in the background.
Would you recommend, for example, for who listening now, no, who they want to maybe do application, if anyone has got any expertise, they can maybe apply to the Keshe Foundation with their
Or what expertise?
Like, for example, I don't know, because they're going to open a lot of, if we're going to open, for example, well-being center around the world, I suppose if anyone here listening and is a doctor and
those things has to be done by human resources companies, which the Keshe Foundation has engaged with. Everything go through. We have engaged in some of the large, what do you call it? Or we're engaged in some of the large human resources employment agencies to engage in recruiting people which we require and we want to be as part of. We try to leave it in that way, but we try to make announcements as it's opened up. We found we have a lot of problem with knowledge seekers who have expertise, but they're good in understanding, but when it comes to doing things for the foundation, it's not working. And very few knowledge seekers who work within the Keshe Foundation, the structure, especially in Austria. And the same will be for other positions. And because they don't carry the expertise, they don't have knowledge, or they have a knowledge which doesn't fit into our work. So when it comes in opening the centers or whatever, it'll be done through the human resources of companies we engage with.
And for example, you said in the workshop of last week about the energy enhancement system. So you said that they will come very soon. And
we are already receiving orders on it. It'll be delivered by the end of this month, beginning of August. And we've said those who book it, there is 3,000 units allocated by January of this year to be put out. And we have governments who already placed orders. Government offices have placed orders. We have groups, what we call chain, with a few tens of shops or stores around the world. They have started placing orders. So we look at it as it comes in. And it's not that it's going to be, it's there. And if we achieve, which we hope we should be able to, what we call perpetual system, which is a generator, freestanding generator, which we already working on, then we'll replace the present 3,000 with those new ones. But it's something which we'll discuss in the teaching. It's not the place for it here. But the units are already there. If people order, pay for it. We already received orders for it from, as I said, individuals. Some people are buying 3 and 5 units and all sorts of things.
So for example, now with Craftsman, one time, we had him here at One City, One Center section, where he was saying that he will, he really, for him, it was a good idea if most people or knowledge seeker, they would come distributors. So I'm thinking now, if people becoming distributors, they can, for example, and he said, why don't specialize in one product and find a way to distribute that product? Is this can be one of the products that if someone become distributor can specialize with?
You can specialize in anything. People decide what they want to do. We don't interfere with it, but if people want to do the energy units, they can do so. If they want to do other things, they can do so. The beauty with the free energy unit when it's released is that I was talking to one of the world leading organizations this morning, and they said solid state, such a thing does not exist. And if it's now, which is launched, it'll bring a lot of changes.
Yeah,
This
because
beauty with this technology, we have to see. We put the magraphs out, a lot of people couldn't do it, and we kept on going on it. And now the energy unit is something which is there. We see between 30 and 50% guaranteed enhancement. And in the next few weeks or whatever, we are working on the freestanding unit, which is perpetual, which means will supply energy for, what do you call it, a long time.
yeah,
Without
because
the main.
I remember in the past you said that you know, for example, for many people maybe losing jobs, become a distributor maybe can be a good way to this also what also Craftsman said, to spread the technology and also support themselves, and also by using the product you can reduce the cost of living. So that's why I said that. So
that's depending on the individuals.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, our target with the new system is, especially with what we call the car units, we start negotiating with large car manufacturers in past week, because people like Tesla cars, instead of doing 800 or 600 kilometers, needing recharging, now they can go to much more. And it's something that will come and will show. The main problem with this now is for us how fast we can manufacture the numbers which is needed. But you can place orders and they'll be delivered in July, August. Everything is set, factories, everything is set for production.
So you will maybe need more people to work in the factory.
We don't employ any knowledge seekers at the moment.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the factories, every time we have knowledge seekers, we run into huge problems. We don't know why, but in some way or another, the team in the factory, especially like in Austria, there is not a single knowledge seekers except one we have, which is a very specialized work he does. He's extremely specialized in what he does, and he's been with us for maybe a year now. Otherwise, the rest of the team, they're all people who came off the employment agencies.
To be going to the employment agency, someone can actually, okay, don't have to be knowledge seeker, but if someone here who listening and is not knowledge seeker, they could go through the employment agents.
It's all done.
It's all done. Okay.
It's all done the different way. Each country is handling it themselves. We don't interfere with it, but everything on expansion, we don't see. We have beautiful knowledge seekers, but they don't have the expertise which we're looking for in a given job. And once we come to knowledge seekers, everything just opens up somehow. We don't understand. So we keep the two sides of the Keshe Foundation, the teaching, research, separate, and other sides. It's kept totally as a business. They're registered companies. Anything else I can expand on? I just came here for Universal Council members to urgently respond to the emails which you've been sent, and Universal Council support, and move all your data to the new one.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday Jalal, not yesterday, a few days ago in the North American teaching, he said something interesting, and now Mushfaq said something as well about it. People going into the flying system, and they try the experience of the flying system, and Jalal was suggesting why you don't try to replicate the feelings. So I thought, yes, this can be a really good practice. Try to replicate the feelings and sensation that we had into the flying system, because in my experience, they were very, very strong and magnified. So from my understanding, we should, if we start to replicate the feelings that we experience in the flying system, that is all object to then do things without the flying system eventually. Correct?
You have, we have a number of people who have been, now got about 80 people, more or less, have been through the system. And a number of them can connect anytime they feel like. And they tell us that they can connect to the system to do something, and then they disconnect when they don't. So they have established that line. But you're listening and learning. But the system is going to change from next week again. A new structure of systems will come into operation in the next week or two. But it's something that you have to experience to understand it. And it's the same with the new energy generators, which we have put out, enhancement units, which will be added to it, what we call the wellness units and what we call the feeding units, that more or less you do not need to consume food as such. We already tested this in the enhancement units simulation, it works. And now we extending it to once people who buy the, what do you call, the energy enhancement units, they'll get offered. You cannot use them without enhancement units. You'll get offered the feeding station and what we call wellness station. The enhancement units, which goes in it when you incorporate it in the house, more or less should comply with what we envisage to be done with energy, food, and health, and what we call wellness.
Oh, wow. Wow. So the energy enhancement system, so the same system that also you can use for your car and for your house, you're saying is also for feeding and
No, feeding
no.
and feeding and wellness is additional units which is getting tested.
Okay. And people can have those in the house as well.
You can use it anywhere. There is a structure, we don't disclose much, but there is a structure which works effectively in the background when it's done. But the most important thing is now is the enhancement unit, energy enhancement unit, which are released. And we'll see what will be the next step in next few days.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. It's just please, members of the council, respond back to the emails and Universal Council support. If you apply for Universal Council support and you do not receive the email, you got a Gmail, email Keshe Foundation info at keshe.foundation to say you have not received an email. Altogether, 90 emails has gone out today to members of Universal Council support.
Mr. Keshe, is there a public link for that list, or is that kept separate?
Kept secret. We don't put that people. When you become Universal Council member or Universal Council support, is kept away from public. Universal Council member is always known, but Universal Council support we keep because they support, and we don't want, what do you call it, undesired approaches to them or whatever. we'll try to find a way to reach the full 90 members. We expect from what we see in the background, numbers to increase quite drastically in the next few months. We expect to reach at least 80 to 85 members of the Universal Council support, and 3 to 5 short-term Universal Council members. Thank you very much. If there is nothing else, I'll leave that you can discuss things with yourself. Please respond back within 3 days that the things can be kept on.